Hello again, Michael Friedberg here from beautiful North Carolina, and today's shave is a bit of a different shave than the usual routine. I have not shaved for a week on purpose so that I could actually demonstrate how easy it is to shave off a week's worth of growth with a very standard razor, the Edwin Jagger DE89. Today's soap I have simply chosen because I have not used it in a very long time. I chose from a sort of a random set of soaps that I have not used for probably a year or more. Today is the Meißner Tremonia Himalayan Heights, which is this is the shaving paste version. So it feels slightly soft and tacky. It feels a little bit foamy when you scoop it out, like a bit of a mousse-like texture. The scent is it is a mixture of a light salty undertone with a beautiful cedar wood note to it. This smells much more like the wood to me now than it did the first few times I used it. The wood scent is strong, quite distinct and pronounced, with a beautiful layer of the slightly salty, tangy note under it. Very, very nice. I scooped out a bunch last Monday, which I just pressed into the Captain Choice loading bowl. I have left it sit. I've just rinsed out the excess lather before I started the video. This paste will dry out and become become hard if you just leave it sitting out. But as soon as you wet it, it becomes soft again very quickly. The brush for today, I chose completely at random from the brushes I have. It's the APShaveCo, the faux horsehair that I got from Jason Rudman. And for today's razor, obviously Edwin Jagger DE89. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that together. The blade for today is, let me just flip that around, the Voskhod. I've used this one time last Monday, so this will be the second shave on this blade. Base plate, which has a little ring in it, which is almost like it's perfectly designed for tiny plastic washer, which I am using. And this is the standard, I think, the base model of the handle, which is completely smooth, no texture, no knurling. It's my only complaint about this razor is that this particular handle style is a little bit slippery in use. I would highly recommend if you get this razor, and I do recommend this razor. It's a beautiful balance of efficiency and comfort, that I would get a handle with some texture on it. Okay, let me wipe my face and we'll go ahead and start lathering up. Soap is very easy to work with, so I'm going to just wet the brush through. There's no reason to soak or really prepare your synthetic hair brushes. I'm just sort of wetting it through in the sink. Shake out most of the water. I don't want to start too wet with this. There we go. Brush actually holds quite a bit. As you will see, this will begin to lather almost immediately. I'm going to work on getting a good thick paste. I'll need a bit of soap. I'm going to go for a bit of a wet lather in the end because I do have 7 days worth of growth to go through. This is a really good good thing to do every now and then, by the way, to let your hair grow out. It gives you a chance to really take a careful look at your beard hair growth. There are some spots where the hair looks like it grows in one direction, particularly here, but it's actually a mix of hair that kind of grows in a few different directions. Down here I have just at the very end a line that turns up, but most of it grows down. It kind of turns. There may be some of you that have a very simple hair growth pattern, but I think most men have a few twists and turns in their overall beard growth. Just loading the brush, trying to get a good load there. As you can see, it's not creating too much of a kind of a foamy, overly bubbly mass. It's because I'm starting off quite dry. Going to add a bit more water. And when I say bit, I'm just using my finger to just dip in the water, just whatever falls off. I'm just dripping literally a few drops in there. And you can see the addition of a bit of water. It's immediately starting to increase the lather in the bowl. All right, that is going to be plenty. Whatever I don't use, I'll scoop out of the bowl for the next pass. All right, put my face again. Let me just say, by the way, that going for a week without shaving, which I have not done in ages, this took some doing. One is because after day 3, it becomes very itchy, and you notice just how scruffy you are in some ways, very pokey. By day 4 or day 5, it starts to soften up a little bit, but Man, I really miss shaving throughout the week, but this week just turned out just perfect opportunity. Timing just worked out great. All right, I'm going to add some water to that. Want to make sure I really get a good lather going. And again, I am just dripping just a few drops on there, just to help lighten up the soap a little bit. Oh, yeah, in this case, if you do have a lot of growth, make sure that you really do take the time to work the soap into your beard. That is still too dry. I know that may look like it's getting there, but a little bit more water for sure. Paint that in, you can see what starts to happen. It starts to even out a little bit. Shine starts to pick up. Yeah, one of the other things that crossed my mind on day 6 of this adventure is that this is going to be the one time where in the wild, a person who watches these videos sees you out in public, recognizes you, and then looks at your face and looks at your beard, and there's a moment there where that person has to think, wait, I thought you were that shaving guy, and here you are with the week's worth of growth. Okay, the razor is fully assembled. Let's go ahead and get started. So, just warming the razor through. This is a week's worth of growth. This is what I consider to be a very standard razor. Beautiful match of efficiency and comfort. Falls right in that middle ground. Second use on this blade. No pressure. Frequent rinsing. But again, even if you don't, because of the design of the head, really helps the lather and the hair stubble move away from the blade. Accommodate the changes in hair growth here. So you can see how much of that is already gone. Absolutely effortless, just completely tears through it. The scent on the soap remains pretty strong throughout the shave. The salt is Himalayan salt as well, so it's a nice mix of the Himalayan cedar and the Himalayan salts. Not bad. And remember, if you are, getting into DE shaving, every pass is about reducing the hair. It's not about totally eliminating the hair in one quick pass. That's not going to happen. Pretty easy. So I never doubted that this would go very smoothly because I've kind of done this before, but if you are personally shaved once a week and you are struggling with cartridges, DE razor would be a much better choice. No real issues with clogging or anything like that. No tugging, no roughness. Well, and there you go, first pass. Now that's a massive amount just gone. Clearly not done yet, but you can see how easily that went through the hair growth. And I know people think that this is kind of a lower end razor, maybe not up to the task of some of these much more aggressive razors. And yes, those aggressive razors maybe have an easier time cutting through dense, a dense heavy beard growth. But the fact of the matter is, with a good lather and really any standard good razor, you're going to be able to get, with a 2 or 3 pass shave, very, very good clean results. Okay, let me just rinse my face again and we'll lather up for pass number 2. As you can see, there's plenty of soap still in the brush. Let me just try to not get so much water on my hand. Yeah, I did not enjoy the itching. You can feel that after a week or so, if you go for another couple weeks, you're going to start having some issues with your skin. At least for me, my skin starts to dry out very quickly, itchy and sort of flaky under the beard. And when I did have a beard, it wasn't really any less work to maintain that than it was simply to shave every day. And the fact is, I found shaving more enjoyable than having to maintain my beard. But the soap is just beautiful. So soft and creamy. Just feels really good on the skin. There's something about it when you're using it, I don't know exactly how to express this, but it feels like it's good for your skin. All right. Pass number 2. This is going to be across the grain, which, the more you look at it, you have to sort of really keep adjusting. Because there's a part here, for example, that grows this way, so in this case, it's going to be mostly straight down. And then change the angle again a little bit because the hair does change directions. There we go. Yeah, this is one of those soaps that I have on the shelf where you pull them out after having not used them for a long time, you realize just kind of how absurd it is. You have this many great soaps just sitting on the shelf not getting used. It's definitely very enjoyable to go through new soaps and have a chance to review them and sort of share my opinions and views on, what soaps are good and why they work and how they smell and so on. But then you also build up this stack of soaps that are a product to be used that are just sitting there. So there's a balance there. There we go. Yeah, I really like these soaps. The Pots of Milk works very well for me. That's a nice milk-based soap. This Himalayan Heights, a bit of a different scent. I love the color. The color is just a very cool blue. All right, third pass. This will be against the grain. I'm going to scoop out a bit of what is left in the bowl because this is going to be the last use of the soap for a little while. Just using my finger to pull it out there. You can see that's from the ring of the bowl. There we go. Yeah, both of these soaps work exceptionally well for me. It just feel really good in the skin. Today's aftershave is going to be a Meißner Tremonia sample as well, the exotic Elemi. Which is, of course, not a perfect pairing with the soap because there isn't, there is a matching aftershave for the soap, but I don't have that. But this is pretty close, actually. Yeah, absolutely spectacular lather on these soaps. Really, really good. Yes, and this shave is, if you are wondering, is coming as quite a relief. I mean, it's not that bad. It's kind of fun on occasion to, you know, stop shaving, give your skin a bit of a break. It does give you a chance to take a really careful look at your beard growth. And maybe you know exactly how it grows. It's just a good chance to verify that, in fact, it does look the way that you expect it to. But okay, here we go. But I can assure you this will be a very infrequent occurrence. And thank you to Mr. T-Rex for suggesting it. I can only imagine how tough that would have been with a cartridge razor, how often that would have clogged, how much tugging there would have been. And there's definitely something very satisfying about a single pass, just destroying 7 days of growth. Sometimes those are the best shaves too when you've gone for a couple of days. All right, mustache. Residual slickness on the soap is very light. I've also taken most of it off, obviously, while shaving, but soap is, in the scheme of things, very easy to rinse. Light and comes off quite easily. Now, with that said, there is, of course, when you get it wet, there is a layer of slickness there, but there isn't a layer of sort of fatty slickness there. But still enough for a very quick, no lather touch-up, which I don't recommend, but which I do on occasion do. All right, let me go ahead and rinse off my face a little more completely. We'll towel off and we'll apply the aftershave. I would say that's a pretty nice clean shave right there. 7 days of growth, just gone, no effort. Not gonna make a habit out of that, but that is on occasion fun to do. Oh, wow, well, personally, I think I look better without a beard, but others might disagree. Yeah, I mean, that's just such an easy, simple shave in some ways, even with the 7 days worth of growth. No resistance, no tugging, no real harshness, no pulling, no difficult areas. The soap just makes for such an easy shave. Beautiful lather on that soap. I love the scent. And the razor, you know, even though people do have call it a kind of average or a good starter razor, you can see how very, very efficient and effective that is. All right, today's aftershave, hope you can read that, is the exotic Elemi or Elemi. This is a scent that's supposed to be based on, or supposed to recall maybe the jungles of Java. It's I think it's the hardwood of the Elemi plant or the tree. There's kind of a light citrus note. There's a bit of a hint of sort of incense or smoky, or a really like a strongly scented core of a tree. A very, very nice scent that, of course, is not the perfect match for the soap, but still a very good match. I'm just going to pour a little bit into my hand. This is an alcohol and witch hazel based combo. I'm using quite a bit because I haven't had that sample for a long time. Time to use it. Oh, it feels really good. Very, very slight burn from the alcohol. Yeah, the scent has kind of a dark, bit of a dark, woodsy, smoky smell to it. There's a light floral scent, maybe a touch of citrus, but the most significant scent there really is kind of a woodsy, incensey, exotic. I think is a really good word for it. A kind of redolent might be the good word to describe it. Oh yeah, that's wonderful. Little more. This has been sitting languishing on the shelf for a while, so I don't feel bad at all about applying a good bit more. And it feels very good going on. Slightly slippery because I think there is a bit of glycerin in here. Oh, that feels really good. All right. Just rinse my hands, and we're going to call it quits right there. We're going to run through the products very quickly. All right, let me just put the cap on the aftershave so I don't spill that, because that is absolutely going to happen if I don't. All right, soap for today, the Himalayan Heights from Meißner Tremonia. There you go. Beautiful blue color, soft in texture. Beautiful, woodsy, slightly salty scent. Gorgeous soap. These soaps do work very well for me. They come in these violet glass jars. I realize these are a bit pricey, but for the performance, I have been extremely happy with these soaps. Today's razor, obviously, is the much beloved and often purchased, and for good reason, Edwin Jagger DE89. Not a fan of this handle. I would go for the one with the knurling, obviously, but in terms of its efficacy, its ability to shave, as you can see, no issues with 7 days worth of growth. That is just absolutely obliterated. And with no additional real effort or hard work or a change in my shaving pattern, just work on a good lather. Make sure you've got a good dense lather going. If you're doing this, that's what you're doing, is shaving once a week. Just make sure you really prep your beard. As you saw, no pre-shave oil or anything like that. Just a simple, good, well-hydrated lather and shave away. Brush for today is the APShaveCo. This is the faux horsehair. Beautiful, simple knot, just feels great in the face. Easy to clean and maintain, obviously being synthetic. Really, really like that brush. And then for today, one of the sample sizes of the Meißner Tremonia exotic Elemi. Wonderful alcohol and witch hazel mix with a bit of glycerin tossed in. Very, very nice. Tiny bit of burn from the alcohol, but that's just a brief moment, and then witch hazel and the glycerin sort of kick in. Yep, very nice, beautiful, smooth shave. What a relief it is. That just felt so good. All right, well, we're going to call it quits right there. Thank you again so much for watching for this a bit of an unusual weekly shave. Thank you again all so much for watching. You can, of course, leave questions and comments against this video or any previous video. And until next time, goodbye.